I don't know how to start this, but anyway, so guys, basically, I want to talk about Street Fighter 6. I'm not the biggest fan. I don't mind it. You know, like I think it's a good fighting game. I actually think it's a good fighting game, like for modern day. Like it's a really good modern day fighting game. You know, compared to MK1, compared to Tekken 8, those are good games too. But like Street Fighter 6 is not a bad fighting game. Just to be clear, I'm not. This isn't a video to bash Street Fighter 6. But as far as, because I played every other fighting Street Fighter game. I played Street Fighter 2, then I played Alpha, I played Street Fighter Alpha 3, I didn't play Third Strike, but I played Street Fighter 4, 5, and now I'm playing Street Fighter 6. So I've been playing Street Fighter for a long time, and I want to talk about why exactly this is the worst version of Street Fighter. And you know, that sounds negative, but I just want to explain why. So basically, to start off, the first reason I'm gonna go with is Drive Rush. Watch this. And I can do whatever combo into super, blah 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 blah. I don't even know Luke's combos, but this combo right here, like this low forward, like that's not the way Street Fighter is supposed to be, you know, to be run. Because this is the way I see it. Let me talk about it from a neutral standpoint. Like in neutral, what happens is you're supposed to, like in every other Street Fighter game, there are buffers, right? Like you can do a move and buffer it into like a special move, right? So like if your move hits, this is nothing new. Like if your move hits, you can confirm it into, you know, different special moves. But in Street Fighter 6, so Street Fighter 5 was a commitment. Like you would do a move, like for example, I played with Colleen, right? So I would do my heavy punch, and then if I have a bad buffer, I buffer into EX heavy punch, or I buffer into EX parabellum, and I'm super minus on block, like I can be punished. In this game, you can buffer into Drive Rush. The problem with that is this ruins neutral because you're plus, like you're still plus after that. So a bad buffer, like let's say I do a bad buffer, like I didn't confirm it, I confirmed it wrong, and Luke blocks, right? So let's say Luke blocked. Let me find the settings real quick. Where are we at? Basic settings. I know it hasn't been that long since I played. Okay, here it is. It was hiding. So let's put him to block all. I'm still plus. So even though I got a bad buffer, I'm still rewarded with plus frames. So I'm still plus. And then let's say I buffer into this. It kind of ruins it because I can buffer into overhead too, and then I'm still plus on overhead. You're supposed to be, the thing about you know, overheads, for example, like if you block an overhead, you're supposed to be able to punish it. You know, that's your reward for blocking overhead. So like it kind of ruins the dynamic there, because I can do anything I want, and this takes no effort. Like I can throw this move out and I can buffer it into forward. This is with any character, not with Lily. I can do like a move like this. And all I'm doing is this. You see my inputs? I'm just buffering forward. There's no skill involved with that, you know. So unfortunately, like I think that's, you know, Drive Rush is not going anywhere as far as a Street Fighter game like Street Fighter 6. Like they're not going to have a patch where they remove Drive Rush. So that's why that's the primary reason why this game is kind of ruined for me, because it kind of ruined neutral. Like in neutral I can just do this, and then pretty much bypass neutral, and you know I'm plus. And then online, it's even worse because you can't even see online. You know, the moves, like if you have a character like DJ, his drive rush is super quick. So not all drive rushes are created equal. I play with the lower tier character. Her drive rush isn't really that fast, so I don't really benefit from it. But like if you play like, you know, higher tier characters like DJ, DJ's high tier. His drive rush is really quick, and you, like I said, you get plus frames, and you get rewarded for going low. Like for example, like if it shouldn't be a point where like let me demonstrate with Luke again. You shouldn't get rewarded for this, like low drive rush. Like you shouldn't be rewarded for pressing crouching medium kick and buffering into forward, because you see, like when I'm buffering it doesn't come out, but if I get the hit. And what's even worse is it ruins whiff punishing, because I can whiff punish moves in this game. Like seem like they go half screen. Like it's not like Street Fighter 5 and Street Fighter 4. unless you're like Vega or a character with like really long range normals. That was one of the biggest strengths is the long range normals. But I can pretty much whiff. I can throw this move out brainlessly and whiff punish from like full screen. So to me, that's a big deal. You know, someone throws out a move and I just get rewarded for doing this. There's no risk to it, and that's the problem I have. Okay, so the second reason. So I think another reason why Street Fighter 6 isn't as good as other Street Fighters. I don't like that you have your meter at the very beginning. In past Street Fighter games, you have to, because you know they're trying to simplify it. You know, the modern day fighters, they want it to be accessible to people that have never played Street Fighter before, which I understand that. But they've simplified it to the point where you have your meter already at the beginning of the round. You have your meter. You know, you have everything you need. I just don't really think that's great for Street Fighter, because you know if you remember the past games, you actually had to earn your meter. You'll see pros during stun, right? You'll see them buffer certain moves, like they'll buffer DP, and then they'll do like the punish. Like when you're stunned, they first of all they see the stun coming, your character gets stunned, and then they just like automatically start buffering and get like that's what pros do, because they optimize on every little thing, and then you know what I mean? I miss that. You know, why are you rewarded to have? You don't see that anymore because you have your meter. You see at the very top of the screen, your meter, like you know, just starts off with you. So like to me, I think that's bad for Street Fighter. You know, I don't think you should be rewarded for certain things that you don't deserve to be rewarded for. Next, I wanted to talk about the DLC. So let's go ahead and go to the DLC real quick. Now this is something that could change. You know, like Drive Rush, you're not going to see any changes with that. Drive Rush is part of the game; it's not going anywhere. But the DLC that can change Season 2. But let's go ahead and start with the season, like the first season DLC. So you have all these characters were with the game, right? You start off with Rashid. Rashid really isn't. Rashid's always been considered a very busted high tier character. You saw him in EVA Grand Finals for a reason, because you know he's obviously a really good solid character. There was a bunch of Rashids actually. Why he came back, I mean, I guess I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to create the future version of, you know, the future generation. That's why you see younger characters that are like brand new to the game. Like you have Kim, which fits. You have Lily, who's a good fit. Even Jamie, why not? I mean, I don't understand why you can't have Yin and Yang, but that's fine. Whatever. You know, Jamie is you know, it's a good fit though. But as far as DLC, you have Rashid. I mean, that's kind of mid. You have Aki. I mean, Aki's kind of cool, but then you bring back like characters from Street Fighter 5. I mean, like that was one game ago. You know what I mean? So I kind of have a problem with that. Like Akuma, for example, he was in Street Fighter 5. You have Bison, for example, he was also in Street Fighter 5. So everyone's been asking for like the Street Fighter 4 characters. Let's get some Third Strike characters, and then okay. Well, we have a Season 2 announced. We have the Season 2 characters that are announced. Guess who's in the Season 2? So you have one Third Strike character, Elena, but all the rest of the characters, you got 2 SNK characters. You have May, who I'm not even familiar with, and then you have Terry from Smash Brothers, or from, you know what I mean? Like what? Those are your, like we've been asking for Makoto and Dudley, and you know we haven't seen Sodom in ages. You know, it'd be nice to get Rolento at some point. Gil. There's so many characters that they, you know, Sea Viper, Dudley. All these characters could have been added, but nope. You had 2 SNK. You have 4 characters first of all for Season 2. 2 of them are SNK characters. So 2 of them aren't even Street Fighter characters. What's up with that? And then you have, of course, you have Bison, who's the first DLC character for the Season 2. You see what I mean? Like, I mean, Bison's obviously like a staple character. You're gonna have him no matter what. But if you're gonna put in like SNK characters, it shouldn't be 50% of the DLC for that season. You should balance it out. Maybe put 1 SNK character and add 4 other characters from former Street Fighter games, like in the past. I don't. That's something I'm not really big on. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what makes it, you know, below the other Street Fighter games. You know, so it's not like end of the world type stuff. But like I said, I think the Drive Rush thing was a huge deal. You know, it just kind of ruins the neutral, your plus, when you don't deserve to be plus. There's no risk to it, you know what I mean? So Now, I want to say the other reason would, the next reason why Street Fighter 6 isn't as good as the other Street Fighter games, because of this, modern controls. Now, modern controls isn't a huge deal. You know, like I play modern people all the time online. When I was playing the game consistently, which I'm not anymore, but you have moves like this. Especially now, this is especially beneficial for SPD characters. Like Zangief has a full 720 input, but with modern controls, you can now do that with just a press of a button. I mean, you lose access to certain other normals, but you gain access to huge special moves with just one push of a button, which I have a problem with because. But then again, it's not this. Like I said, this isn't really a big deal. We had modern controllers players in Street Fighter 5. But remember Ed and Falk? They were basically modern type, players because like they, with Ed you would do, instead of doing like an input, you would press 2 punch buttons at the same time or 2 kick buttons at the same time, and you do a special move. Same thing with Falk. So we had a semblance of modern controls in Street Fighter 5, but it wasn't really quite the same thing. I mean, it kind of is, but like I said, modern controls isn't like the end of the world. Like this isn't really a big deal because like you play modern controls, you have some advantages because you can do an SPD, like I said, at the press of a button. You can anti-air with just pressing a button, so like it kind of changes things a little bit. Like when you're playing against like a modern Ryu, for example, you're like, okay, I better not jump because this guy doesn't have to, input the DP motion. You can just press you can just press one button and anti-air. But that's not, like I said, that's not a big deal because people like me are people that are like, I'm not saying I'm like I'm great, but like I'm pretty decent at fighting games. I might as well be playing modern with my inputs because my inputs are pretty quick. So like most players, like if you watch pros or like players that are decent, anyone that's in master rank or whatever. I'll show you really quickly. But anyone that anyone that's like any good at all, like you can do the moves almost as quick as a modern player anyway. So like you see like in the tournament, you see some modern people, but everyone's using classic, where you have to do the full input. So see this, like my inputs come out really quickly to the point where I almost might as well be modern. So like that's most people that are pretty decent at the game, but it's just not great. You know what I mean? Like it's not a horrible thing though. It doesn't really. Maybe I shouldn't have even mentioned that because it doesn't really change the whole course of the game. It doesn't really make it a bad game, but it's just like something that's a little scrubby that no other Street Fighter has. Like every other Street Fighter, you have to earn your way to do an input. Special moves used to have. Getting cold feet? It used to take skill. Now it doesn't. So unfortunately, that's something. I gotta mention. So I'll say the next reason I wrote down, so like I mentioned this a little bit before, normals have like insane range in this game. Like I can do a move, most moves can like, it seems like they go like so far, which isn't really a huge deal, but it makes it to where like when you're in an actual match, whip punishing, like you see a lot of whip punishes for accident, like accidentally basically. So like if I have, let's just say Luke throws out a medium punch, right? Or what's that move that he has? Heavy punch. Let's say he throws out a heavy punch. So I'm gonna set him to do a heavy punch and then block. I'm getting like a lot of there's a lot of moves where like I'm getting an accident. Like you see how easy it is to whip punish? I'm whip punishing from like half screen. Oh, by the way, because I was buffering, I get a full combo. Like that's not. How is that like? Look at that. That's crazy. That's actually surprising me right now. Like look how easy it is to whip punish. And I'm just buffering this like half screen and I'm getting a full combo conversion. Why? So that's something I'm not really a big fan of. In Street Fighter 5, you at least have to like get close, you know what I mean? Like now one thing I will say that's positive about this game, I don't want to be all negative, but like the training mode in this game is actually incredible. Like it's the top notch. It's better than any other Street Fighter, probably better than in any other fighting game in the history of fighting games because you have like all these different options. It's actually pretty overwhelming when you take a look at it. Like when you turn the game on for the first time and you're trying to get into the training mode, it's actually pretty overwhelming. But once you get used to it, you got all these solid options. You got you can start with level 3. One of the options that I think is really cool that's unique to this game though is the fact that you can set your record settings. Like on wake up reversal, you can go to. You can just, instead of like do it, because in Street Fighter V you had to like press the button at a certain time, and then it would test you, and then you'd have to wait for the reversal. You don't have to do all that now. You can just simply choose whatever, like it's really organized. Like just, you can tell them to do this on wake up, like all the moves are here, just select it, select the version, medium punch, heavy, OD version, whatever. It's very simplified to where like you can, and then the other option is, like you can set it to like, set them to jump if you want to. Like it's very easy to do. But the other thing I think is really great is that you can do reversal after damage. So like if you're trying to test something on hit, like so let's say someone gets hit, you couldn't do that in other Street Fighter V games or in other Street Fighter games period. You'd have to, I guess, lab with a friend. That was the only way. But like if, let's just say like I wanted someone to do like a reversal after getting hit to test something, you can do that. Like I can set Luke to do like a rising uppercut, right? An EX rising uppercut after getting hit. And then I can set that, right? So after he gets hit, he's going to do it. I still have him on block. Let's just say no block. So after he gets hit, he's going to do a rising uppercut. See that? So you can test that now. Like you can say, like, what is it like on hit? How much time do I have to... You see that? So on hit, he's doing this. You can't do this in any other Street Fighter. So I'm doing this because I want to be a little bit positive, say something good about it before I continue to be the bearer of bad news. But so the next thing I wrote down was completely invincible parries. So like parries in this game are just completely invincible. You see at the top of the screen, you do burn drive gauge, obviously. See that? So there is some penalty, but most of the time you're never going to see people hold parry like this in a fight unless you're like a novice or something like that. Like you're just not going to see that. So mostly you're going to see this. Like they're going to burn like parry, but then you get rewarded back. Like if someone does a move, let's just say, right? You can do this. Like you're gonna get meter back. So parries are completely invincible. There's nothing you can do to a parry in Street Fighter 6 except grab. That's the only thing it's acceptable to. You can do a level 3 super. Here, I'll have Luke, just to show you, I'll have Luke do like a level 3 super on hit. I don't know what this level 3 is. I guess it's this. I don't know Luke's moves at all, but this is a level 3 super, and I just parried it just like that. So I'm not sure about parries that, I'm not sure about universal parries that everyone has that is just completely invincible. Like in Street Fighter V, only certain people had parries. And then if you do a parry, for example, a parry can be baited and badly punished. So parries were very risky, and not every character had parries. So like for example, if someone did an anti-air parry, right? The worst thing that can happen is I can do an empty jump and then grab the parry, and then I take a little bit extra damage. That's it. Like I take a little bit extra damage, and then that's the punish. Like there's no way to severely punish a parry. In Street Fighter V, for example, if I do a parry, I better have it timed perfectly. If not, I'm left vulnerable for like, it seems like a full second. I'm left vulnerable, and then I could get counter hit, bodied. Like it's pretty bad. So. That's why I prefer it that way, because parries were actually high risk, high reward. In this game, it's actually pretty low risk, high reward. I don't know why it's like that, but it gives people that never played Street Fighter, oh look, I'm doing a parry and I'm completely invincible. That's not that's not a parry. Parries are supposed to have some risk to it. And there's supposed to be a way to severely punish it. In every other game, you can severely punish. Well, at least Street Fighter V. I didn't play Third Strike, but in Street Fighter V, you were able to severely punish it. Like you can bait it, and trust me, like there's a risk. Like I'm not doing a parry very often. In fact, at top level, you don't really see parries that often, unless someone just did something like like a really dumb move or something like that. But you almost never see it as much at top level if you watch tournaments, because there's risk involved. You'll never see an anti-air parry. I can promise you that. And the worst thing that could happen in this game, let's just say Luke does a parry, right? In fact, I'm gonna have him hold his parry. So I'm just gonna have him do a jump and then hold his parry, right? I'm gonna try to beat him out of his parry. I'm gonna try everything I can, and then you tell me. So he's gonna do a parry, right? I'm gonna do level 1. Nope, that's not gonna work. Level 2. Nope, that's not gonna work. DP. Nope, that's not gonna work. Regular DP or normals. Nope, that's not gonna work. Nothing. Low. Nope, that's not gonna work. There's nothing I could do. Like, it's completely invisible. EXDP? Nope, that's not gonna work. Sorry. Try again. So the only thing you can really do is grab, and then this is how much damage he takes. He takes, a little bit more damage compared to a regular throw, which doesn't do that much. You see that? This is a regular throw damage, and then this is... That's my punish. That's the best I can do against a DP. Like, come on. I mean, against a parry. So there needs to be like some. It shouldn't be to where like watch this. This is high. It doesn't matter like what I'm doing. I'm going low, right? Let's say I have a really nice mix-up that I'm proud of, right? A high-low. Oh nope, you can parry that. Or let's say I mix them up. Let's say I cross up. Oh nope, parry beats that too. You see what I mean? Like, parry beats everything. It doesn't matter what I do. He's invincible. The only reason he got hit there is because he released his parry. But so that's part of the problem I have right there too. Is parries are just way too powerful. It blocks high, it blocks low. Maybe if they made it directional or if they did something different, but like parry shouldn't be all invincible to the point where like I have no options. Like I basically have to just grab and you know what I mean. Like it's a little bit. Like I said, this doesn't make the game bad or anything. It just makes it to where it's if it were a Street Fighter game. And like I said, I still play the game. You know, I haven't played it that much lately, but like I still, you know, I'll still play it. But you know, the other thing I wanted to talk about is throw loops. So throw loops is a big thing in this game. I don't have a character that can do throw loops, but there's certain characters. Actually, I kind of do. So you can do this for free. But like this is worse with like characters with faster walk speeds. My character doesn't have, you know, great walk speed. Her forward walk speed is okay, I guess. But you can just do throw loops all day. So basically, the other person has to. They either have to tech it. And teching is very risky. So like if he does a tech, I can walk back and you know do like a pretty big punish. Oh, I forgot he was still set for that. But I forgot that was still turned on. Let me turn that off real quick. But basically, like, yes. I mean, that's pretty much how that works. Is you can just walk up. This is just too easy. Like they need to make this to the point where like it's not that easy. Like Street Fighter 5, you couldn't do this. There's no three loops. Now you can do this to someone that doesn't know what they're doing. They'll just keep getting grabbed, I guess, like they're a novice, but. In Street Fighter 5, you'll know to like just jab out of it, and then in most cases you'll get a counter hit combo, and then you'll, you know, do it into more damage. But like, there's never a situation where I should just be able to walk up and, you know, grab for free all day, because there's nothing the Luke can do. He can wake up reversal if he wants to, and that would beat me. Obviously, he can wake up and do a lot of stuff, but the penalty to get out of that is just too risky. Like, why do I have to burn my meter? Why do I have to do a wake up? Even if I try to jump out of it, I might be meated, you know. So it's just too much. It's an unfair mix-up, really, because like it doesn't take any skill, it doesn't take any meter. Now, if you're talking about like maybe doing like a drive rush mix-up like that, at least I burned some meter for that. So at least it's not really, you know what I mean. At least it's a real mix-up, but you shouldn't just be able to walk up for free, you know, grab a million times. Like I think throw loops are a horrible idea. I don't know if that's intentional. Maybe they wanted throw loops in the game, but that's something that I could at least begin to take the game a little seriously if they took throw loops out of the game. But unfortunately, that just kind of ruins a lot of the game. It's just, you know, not great. And then the other thing is, you don't even need to shimmy in this game. You can just double jump, you know. So that's something you can do. Like, let's say the Luke blocks, right? Instead of having to require to actually know how to do a shimmy. I'll put him on all block. Oh, counter. So all I have to do is this. I can do a double jump and I get rewarded for jumping. Like, this game is very it rewards you a lot for jumping. Like I just don't know about that. You know, like jumping is actually powerful. It shouldn't be powerful. Obviously, I have good anti-airs. A lot of people have good anti-airs, but it should be a little bit more difficult to shimmy in this game. And this is pretty much a shimmy. Like I could just jump twice like a scrub and get punished or get it punished. So I don't think that's great. So I want to talk about the ranking system. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu. So let me tell you about what I've seen with the ranking system. Master rank is way too easy to get. Like I'm a master, as you can see, but so is everybody else. Like everybody and their mom is a master. Like I think I saw a stream with a girl, you know, like named Sally. You know, she's playing Street Fighter 6. She's telling her friends like, "Hey, you wanna, Carla, do you want to get to master with after we do our nails? Do you want to get to master with Ken and Ryu really quickly?" And then Carla's like, "I already did." And I'm just like, whoa, like that's basically what it is. Like I'll watch streams where it's like Carla and Sally are getting to master, and then you got, you know, Susan over here is getting the master too, and she's mastered with 4 characters. Like the ranking is just way too easy in this game. Let me go to the ranking system real quick so you can see. You got like 1 million master. Like this is just for Lily. Like you got 1 million master lilies. Okay, well you can hold on. Let me just go with all characters. While I'm talking, I'm just gonna continue to scroll down so you can see how many masters there are. Like we're not gonna get to the end of it. And this we could just do North America. We could do all. It doesn't really matter. Like you're not gonna see the end of master. Like. So I'm going to continue to talk, right? And we're going to continue to scroll down, and you're going to see how many masters there are. We're never going to get to the end of... And this is just North America, like I said. But... so, we're never going to get to the bottom of master. You know, like, it's just not going to happen. But to be fair, let's do all countries. So I'm going to continue to talk about... master. We're never gonna get to the bottom of it because like everyone, it's like almost everyone that's ever played a Street Fighter, even if you haven't played a Street Fighter game, like they're all master, you know. So it gets to the point where like even if I could meet like a guy named you know, Jorge Rodriguez on the street. Let's just say Jorge. He's never played. He doesn't even speak English. Never played a Street Fighter game. We can play. You know, we can like I can be like here's how you do a DP. Let me teach you how to play the game, right? And next thing you know, I'll check back with him. I'm like, did you get the master with you know? He'd be like, actually, he let's just say this: Jorge might get the master with more characters than I did. You know, like that's basically what it is. Like anybody, literally anybody can get the master. Like in this game, like and as you can see, I'm still scrolling down. But we're gonna be, like I said, we're gonna be scrolling down forever. Like I tried. At some point, I tried to scroll down as much as I can. I never even got to the highest level, Diamond 5. Diamond 5 would be the next rank in this, you know, in this series, like the next rank down. I promise I could do this all day. I'm never gonna get to the highest Diamond 5. It's just not gonna happen. So that's just another thing about the game. Like I just think the master. So, and the other thing about the ranking system is like if you look at Street Fighter 4, for example, or Street Fighter 5, I never got the master in Street Fighter 5. And I sure damn didn't get the master in Street Fighter 4 because in Street Fighter 4, master was nearly impossible. Like if you go back right now and look at how many masters are in Street Fighter 4, you might find it was nearly impossible. Like the way the ranking system was working, like because if you play a match and you play against someone that's, let's say you're a master, right, and you play against someone that's like a C, because that's how they did the ranks in Street Fighter 4, you would get 1 point. So you'd almost never see masters. In fact, I would be willing to bet there would be like maybe no more than 18 masters, like in the whole game of Street Fighter 4. Street Fighter 4 has been around since 2009, I think, or 2008. That was before I even started playing it. Probably have like 18 masters, and over all consoles, because remember it wasn't cross compatible at that time. So like this was like, you know, you had separate masters on Xbox, separate masters on PC, separate masters on you know, PlayStation. And you would never get to any of the masters. You know what I'm saying? Like you'd almost never see masters. So you'd probably have 18 combined, like 18 combined masters, you know, completely. So it's actually pretty insane. Like getting to master used to mean something. It doesn't mean anything in this game. And just because you get to master doesn't mean you're a master. When you get to master in Street Fighter 4, that meant you were a master. If you get to master in Street Fighter 5, that was special too. But one thing I do think about this game is, like, if they can leave master the way it is, but add another rank, add grandmaster, we had multiple ranks. Like in Street Fighter 5, you had Warlord was the highest rank you can get. You had Grandmaster below. You had Ultimate Grandmaster below that. Ultimate Grandmaster was nearly impossible to get. You'd pretty much have to play almost all day. Well, depends on if you're a pro. If you're a pro, you can get to Ultimate Grandmaster just like that. But if you're just like a regular Joe like me, it's not easy to get to, you know. And see, we're still scrolling down. You're not going to get. I promise you, we're not going to get to the. We're just not going to get to the a rank below this. That's how many masters there are in this game. Like, it means nothing. There's no reward for it. Now, would I recommend taking master away from people and, you know, making it hard? No, just add another rank. Add grandmaster, like in every other Street Fighter game to exist that has online play. Add ultimate grandmaster. Add different ranks. You know what I'm saying? Like, add different master ranks to make it actually mean something. I know they have legend. Legend's a little. Legend's like a very dynamic rank. Like, you can have legend, then you can lose it instantly, because legend, the way legend is set up is you have to be like one of the top 500 players. So like you can easily fall out of the top 500 and lose your rank. I don't think rank should be. Excuse me. I don't think rank should be lost like that. You know what I mean? So I don't think your rank should be dependent on your positioning, because say you don't play the game in a day, someone else takes your rank. Basically, your rank is gone. But whatever, you know, so it is what it is. Like I said, Street Fighter 6 is not a bad game. It's not a bad fighting game, but the expectations for Street Fighter is really high. You know, like people like me have been playing Street Fighter my whole life. The expectations are up to here. Street Fighter 6 is down to here, and you can't see me on the camera. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you watching this video. Let me know your comments below. Let me know what you think is the worst fighting game or worst Street Fighter game. I would love to get your comments. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.